community to see what's out there for them and how we can help what's out there for us. Together we can make a difference. Tonight I have Elizabeth Hutchinson and Jeff Cove from Training Inc. To discuss with us some things that are in the community for us to be able to reach out to better ourselves, to find programming, and to help us get work in training. So good evening, you guys. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so Elizabeth, how about you tell me what you do at Training Inc., so we know who you are.
Okay, I do marketing and program development, but I also manage several programs, which I'll be talking at length here in a little bit about.
Yeah.
And I'm also an employment counselor, so I wear multiple hats at Training Inc., and that's my role.
You sound like one of the people that probably help a lot of people daily there.
That's correct.
Yes. And Jeff, yourself, what do you do there?
I'm the instructor for the Security Professionals program.
Okay.
So I'm one of the instructors that delivers programming that Elizabeth finds us candidates out in the community to come and take the program. So we have currently we do 3 intakes a year, and so I get the pleasure of coming in for over the 5-week periods as people work on getting themselves a career in working in security.
Okay, perfect. So Training Inc. is right downtown here, right?
That's right, 444 Fifth Avenue South, and for those of you that know it as the old police station, which Jeff
Like
knows
I
well.
Okay. That's where it is. So
That's
it's
where it
just,
is.
it's very easy to get yourself to. And at Training Inc., you guys have, your mission is to enhance the lives of clients through learning, human growth, and development is really what you're there to do, right?
That's correct.
So Training Inc. is there for you. That's what they're there for. And I'm just curious if you want to tell us kind of what programs and options people would find at your
It's
establishment.
multiple. So we're actually a vocational school and employment services. So
Okay.
I'm going to start with employment services, which are all government-funded programs. So they're funded in partnership with the Government of Canada and the province of Alberta. And if you're looking to maybe tweak your resume or have a total revamp of your resume, we have several employment counselors on staff that can help you with that, as well as your job search, interview skills. And once you're a client, you can access, we have workshops that happen weekly on networking and interview skills. Once a month, we have a career planning workshop. In
Okay.
addition to that, if you're struggling with applying online, because that's how many positions now require you to apply, then we also have computerized job search that we can help you, tweak your skills, that sort of thing. And depending on which program you're involved with, there may also be additional training that's attached to that program. So you come in and you meet with an employment counselor, go through an assessment, determine what your needs are. And
Okay.
it may be that you're just really lost, you want to change jobs, or maybe you're just really unsure of the career direction. So an employment counselor will guide and assist you with that.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, with our government-funded training, we actually offer other programs. So one of them is the Security Professional Program, but we also have our Agriculture, Construction, Oil Field Training. And that one is 14 safety tickets, and if you're eligible, you can also get your Class 3 driver training.
Oh, nice.
It's a 7-week program, so the first 4 weeks will be safety tickets, like first aid, confined space, H2S Alive, that sort of thing. And then if you're going on to the rest of the program for your Class 3 driver training, then you would then continue on with that.
So something like that, I'm just going to stop there for a second just because that would speak obviously to women too, but
Oh, definitely.
a lot of men also.
Right.
So just sometimes I think people think training and stuff like that, they don't always think of it if they're a male. Sometimes they're like, I can just go get a job all by myself, because that's what they do. This is a really good option for people who unfortunately may have lost work from some of our issues, right?
Right.
And so they could go and do this. And it's funded by who, you say?
It's a partnership with the Government of Canada and the province of
Okay.
Alberta. And so there are some eligibility requirements. So again, you'd meet with the intake worker, ensure that you meet all the criteria. And then again, it's 7 weeks, and it depends on what you're looking for. Like, some people just want the safety tickets and they want to be off and working, right?
Okay.
So you do the first 4 weeks, but then you continue to work with an employment counselor. So again, resume, interview skills, and helping some assistance with your job search. And then if you are eligible for Class 3 driver training, you would continue and do the full
I
7
see.
weeks. And again, still having employment services as that support.
And somebody's kind of helping you through it and advocating with you so you're not feeling lost.
Correct.
That's always nice.
Yeah, and you mentioned the services, male, maybe reluctant to come in, but really for all of our employment services, our demographics are very equal. So
Perfect.
we're not finding that one demographic is saying, oh, I don't think this is for me, so.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have figured, just because I talked to so many people and it just seems like they don't see that as an option. And I'm just like, yeah, that's an option. There's really these things, there's ExecuServe, there's Training Inc., there's Fifth on Fifth, I'm sure there's ones I'm missing, but there's many out there, so.
Right.
And people are just, I feel like they're like, oh, I didn't know. Okay, so agriculture, and there's a few more that you have.
Yeah, so that one, so when you take what we call it the ACOT program, where it stands for Agriculture, Construction, Oil Field, and the last is training, but in that, like I said, Class 3 driver training. So if you have an interest in any of those areas, then that program may be a good fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
The second program that we have that's government funded is the one that Jeff's involved in, which is our security professional program, which is 5 weeks in length, and like Jeff mentioned, 3 times a year we offer it. Our next intake is in September,
Mhm.
and right now we're actively recruiting candidates
Yeah.
for the fall.
Well, it's a big. There's a lot of demand for security guards. So, as our communities evolve and require security and law enforcement, those kinds of things, there are certain things that the police no longer have capacity to do anymore.
Okay.
Things that are fairly routine things that you'd think the police would be doing, such as responding to alarms and even working at their own crime scenes where they maintaining continuity, those kinds of things. They're all pieces of what used to be a traditional police job that are there's less financial burden if they farm them out to the security field. So there's tons of people or tons of opportunity out there for people to get jobs in the security field. And having been previously a manager of one of the security companies, a fairly big security company here in Lethbridge, we used to recruit from the Training Inc. program all the time. All of the security companies that are here do, so they find employment. And I always found that the security guards that came from the 5-week training program, who not only had the 1-week Alberta Basic Security Training course to get their license, which is the minimum requirement, the
Okay.
addition of the additional weeks of training that you get for additional skills about dealing with people and writing reports and how to be a security guard
Yeah.
works really well. And so the people that we would bring into our organization as new security guards were way ahead of people that we would just get that didn't have the advantage of that extra training.
Okay. So you might have a more advantage of getting hired at a job or keeping a job because you know the
retention
Yeah.
is the real key, right? And I've seen that from when we started. The program's really new. It's been about 3 years, I guess, now that we've been running it. And when you first started talking to employers, one of the big issues was turnover, right? And I'm finding 3 years down the road, our guards are still working as guards. So I really think that that's the benefit.
Okay.
In addition to, yes, the student is leaving feeling very secure about their work, but the reason that they're staying in their job is because they felt so secure when they left the program.
Does that security professional training get them any closer if they were looking for a further training in that type of thing?
Yeah, so sometimes there's, there's additional training to be an investigator, to be a private investigator.
Okay.
That's coming up for us in November.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
With Jeff again.
Is
with
this
the
another new
Brand
thing
new.
you guys are
Right.
bringing? So you guys are always revamping, changing also for us.
That's correct.
Okay.
So if you go to our website currently, you won't see it, but within the next couple days you will. But it is being launched in
Okay.
November, and Jeff will be our instructor.
Tell me a little bit about that too.
So that positions a person to work as a private investigator. There's been lots of interest from security people who want to have it as a step up from the basic security training course, because it teaches you things about, you know, how to watch people, how to do surveillance, how to investigate things, how to gather data, how to do open source intelligence gathering, and all the things that you need to do to be able to look into something
Right.
on a private basis. So even I've even had people that I've taught in the security professionals program say that they really don't have any intention of going specifically to go into process serving or those kinds of things. They might want to do loss prevention or some kind of insurance work, but really it's just something that they want to have as an advanced opportunity to train. And you know, we're really happy to meet you if
Perfect.
that's what you want to do as well.
So, yeah, that also gives it an extra reason to take
Yeah,
it, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've had some students, they even, I mean, some of our programs, of course, with the security program leads to careers in security. In my volunteer work at the city, I run into people that we've trained working security all over the city, and it's excellent to see them enjoying careers. They're fruitful in what they're doing. They're retained by their organizations, and a lot of the organizations think they're such a blessing to be able to have fully trained, competent people who are really, really good at what they do.
And it's important that if you're doing security that you are competent.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
an important job, really, in its own right. So,
You're that person that they always look to. I mean, whether it's the parking meter out front is stuck, that's not really your thing, but to have the security guard go, let me help you with that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whether it's a maintenance thing. I've even told my students, you're that person in uniform, you're the person that's being held to the higher standard, you're the one with the extra training. If the toilet's plugged, they're coming to report it to you.
yeah.
And you're that person, and that's the way it goes. And I've been a security guard. I know what it's like.
That's true. Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be true? Oh, that's awesome.
And in addition to getting your security license with our 5-week program, and the reason it's 5 weeks, we offer a lot more safety tickets, right? So you get first aid, nonviolent crisis intervention, mental health training,
This is actually really...
in addition to the online ticket, we partner with Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Schizophrenia Society. Next round will be coming in, and we're going to spend a whole day on mental health, because that's one of the issues that often our guards are dealing with, right?
Yeah.
And mental health and addictions. So we have that, we have ProTech, dealing with difficult people, which is an online ticket,
Yeah.
fire suppression. So you're not leaving with just your security license, plus you get 4 days with Jeff in a classroom setting where all the students will tell you one of the best things is hearing his war stories.
I always tell them I know 3,984 different war stories from almost
That's
30 years in
awesome.
policing.
And we spend a lot of time on those practical skills. The building, our office hours are 8:30 to 4:30 Monday to Friday, but we actually come in on a Saturday and we turn the whole building into a simulation day and we run scenarios. So each person gets to practice being a guard. They also get to be a victim, which I also think is important for them to
Yes.
understand that perspective, because they're going to be responding to that person in need, and they need to know what that feels like.
Of course, yeah. Just some of the safety training tickets that you're talking about make me happy, just because it'll help them to have a little empathy, a little
Right.
understanding, because sometimes when you're dealing with somebody who's not being a little out of control, it's easier to just think bad instead of to see the full picture. So with
That's
that
right.
training, that's so important. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. It's actually really interesting.
You wanna join?
Yeah, just about here is what I'm thinking.
Interesting.
How interesting is that? And actually, some of those other tickets, if you're online looking for jobs, just working in other places in the community, those are the tickets they ask you for that deter you from applying for the job. So not only are you getting those tickets, you're also getting a training, and you may qualify for funding. So that's a very important initiative, and something, if you're looking for something to do, people could go check out.
Right, and again, just like our other programs, we assist you with your resume, interview skills, that sort of thing. Jeff also does the employment portion. I assist with the resume. We bring the employers to the students in our security program, which is a little
Okay.
bit unique. But typically by week 5, many of them are already in
They're
uniform.
working.
You're holding back the reins a little bit, like, we gotta finish a couple more days before you go to work, right?
Okay, so you are giving them tools to find work after.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just
Right. Oh,
finishing the training and saying, here you
No.
go try to do something.
That's right, and there's ongoing support. I tell
Oh,
everyone,
nice.
when you leave, if you're struggling, and you have questions, or you just want to come back and say hi, come for a visit. I love to see our students and chat with them and find out what's happening. really believe in the feedback from students. So this program has evolved based on the feedback we've received. So as they get out into the community, they used to say, I used to really nag them about notebook
Yeah.
writing and
Yeah.
taking notes. And then a few of them came back and said, actually, you could probably beef it up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
right on. So we
nice.
then redesigned some components. So we really listen not only to the employers, but former students and what their experiences have been. And I think that's why it's become what it has.
And within the confines of our building, we want to make it as real world as we can. Even if I might be in one day teaching occupational health and safety and being a safe security guard, or diversity, or one of those other courses that I teach, there's still operational things that we get them to do. So you have to make notes. I need to know that you're carefully
Yes.
making observations, which are things that you would do when you're a security guard. The piece that Elizabeth is talking about, the networking and the interviewing part, I really like doing that with these students. That was one of the areas that I was in charge of when I was with the police service. Was recruiting and human resources and those kinds of things. And so we give them the worst case tough scenario about looking for work, making connections that are going to find you opportunities for work, where you might find them. And once you've found that opportunity and make application, and they phone and say, well, now it's time to come in for an interview and whatnot. So we go through that process, and we do lots of practicing so they know how to articulate their competencies and their skills. And the individual who's sitting across the desk, who first you get a 6-second blush when you first apply. There's that first 2 minutes when you come in the door when they're making the decision, and I know that because I've been that guy.
Yeah.
And then go through the interview process, which can be 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then they'll come back and they'll say, yeah, it was like 10 minutes, we're good. See how well you were trained?
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
true.
you want to,
Yeah.
it's better to have more skills than you need and come off and get hired right away than to sit there and not have enough information about
And that
yourself.
one-on-one and practicing and that positive reinforcement, all it does is cause a confidence for you to be able to go
For
out
sure.
and be like, no, I'm going to get this job.
For
Not,
sure.
That's right.
because really that's what you need to do when you go into an interview is,
really
this is
think-
my job.
Right,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
really think the heart of Training Inc. is really just that. Like, many places can offer training, but if we can increase confidence, that
Yes.
self-esteem, where you feel it when you come through our doors, you've got that welcome and that support and that comfort, that's where we shine.
Somebody's caring enough to care that maybe you do,
That's
or to
true.
believe in you. I
That's
think is really
exactly
what
it.
it's
That's
about,
true.
right?
It
That
is.
empowerment of
That's
that,
right.
of somebody believes in me. It empowers you.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
funny things one of the things that I like to have my students do when we're doing the interview piece is about talking about yourself. And I don't know, some people say it's, well, we're Canadian, we don't like to talk about ourselves. But at the end of the day, how many people actually think about that? If somebody came to you and said to you, tell me about yourself, other than answering back, well, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
Which we tell them is off limits. You have to put together what that speech is going to look like in the 30 to 60 seconds that you're going to
Yes.
have to tell the person the most important things about yourself. And I, without exception, the students will look at me and go, I've never thought of that before.
That's right.
So we start slow. So we go around the room, and it's just about, and they know me because they've been with me for days, but we go over, I introduce myself to them, and they tell me, I need to know something about yourself. And by that time, you get to know the students a little bit, so you can tell them, why do you not tell people about this or that or the other thing that are very, very important pieces of your personality, your experience, and basically the package that you bring to the table when you present yourself as a potential employee for me. Those are the kinds of things I want to know. And when you leave, so that when you leave the room, they say, yeah, we got to have that person. And the beauty is on the other side, I've had students that I had interviewed for jobs that I really wanted to hire at my security company, that one of the other very qualified security companies in the city was able to get to them because they had a different offer for different kinds of work
Right.
that they wanted, right? And so you're disappointed, but you think, good on you for being able to be successful that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It makes
that
me
sounds
happy.
great. Yeah. And then when you have people working in a place like this that makes them happy, well, now goals are actually being met, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I have more coffee partners because they call me for coffee and they keep in touch too. So,
They're keeping you
so we're good.
alive.
That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you also have aesthetics.
That's right. So
Medical assistance, like other things like that too.
So our aesthetics program is offered in the evenings.
Okay.
And so we offer eyelash extensions, mani-pedi, along with gel enhancement for nails, and waxing and tinting. So we've also added new courses to the aesthetics program. We're going to have lash lifts in the fall.
Okay.
And we're looking at a few more right now through the summer that hopefully we'll be able to offer.
Well,
in the
one I
fall.
was looking on there, I'm going to ask while I have you sitting here, is what happened to the makeup course?
Well, back in the day, we had a fully funded program that, again, it was similar to some of our other government-funded programs. Times change, and now we just offer short courses, right? And in addition to that, instructors come and go, and
Yes, I see.
and trends change.
I wanted that one.
I was like, okay, there's a reason.
I really wanted that one, yeah.
Well, if there's an interest, we'll create a program.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good.
No, those programs are self-pay. They are
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Government
Okay.
funded, yeah.
Yeah.
And typically they are 6 evenings, and like for the nails, you can do the mani-pedi portion, do 6, and then maybe at a later date, if you wanted to come back, you can do the next 6 evenings for gel enhancement, or you can do all 12 evenings. Just depends on your interest.
I know that she says that they're not funded and they're self-paid, but I've been online to check out the costs of those courses. They are self-paid, but it's a cheap. You guys have way cheaper than if you were to go somewhere else.
And the other thing, you can do is make payments and leading up
okay.
until the program, right? So as long as the course is paid 2 weeks prior to the start date, so it's a $100 non-refundable deposit, but we have no problem with making payments because we know it's a lot easier than trying to find,
Yes.
$700 all at once. And
Yeah, making that $100
right?
payment is a little easier to
Right.
chalk
So
up.
we will work with you.
Okay, that's good too. Yeah. And so those are all the careers that you do. The safety training, is that the same as the security professional?
It isn't. So the safety training, it can be offered within a program, so like the security professional or our ACOG
Okay.
program, or you can self-pay again. Maybe you want a first aid course, or you need to renew your first aid.
Oh,
right?
safety training.
Right.
I get it.
Right, so we
Okay.
have a multiple courses in that, so again, it's not all classroom-based, some of them are online, so if you wanted to do like food management, pro-serve, that sort of thing, you can do that, as well as we have like flag person, H2S, ground disturbance. So our safety calendar is on our website, and we put them up a few months in advance, so you can just check it out
Mhm.
and see what's available. And I should have mentioned too, I know this broadcast is for Lethbridge, but we do have other locations in
Yes.
Karsten and Pinster Creek, which also offer our safety courses quite regularly.
Yeah, and they offer a lot of these
They
other
do.
courses. It's
They
not
do.
just, and they'll always help you for your employment too.
Right.
So where are those other places again?
In Cardston and Pincher Creek, and then
Okay.
we have satellite office in Fort Macleod and Bellevue.
Okay, so you're reaching out, you're getting there.
So on
You're getting more people.
Wednesdays, we'll have someone in Fort Macleod and someone else in Bellevue. And
Okay.
Yeah, but the Cardston and Pincher Creek offices are Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 as well.
Perfect, that's good.
But one of our big programs is our healthcare aid program.
Oh, yes.
Right, so we have a day program which runs 5 months, or you can take the evening program, which is 6 months. So we've really found the evening to be quite successful. It's relatively new that we've started offering evening classes, but you can work all day and then take class at night.
Yeah.
And so it's made it easier for a lot of families.
Yeah, exactly.
One of our students in the last class, as a matter of fact, was a healthcare aid graduate. So he's working his way around Training Inc., getting as much training as he can.
That's
He spoke
perfect.
very highly of the healthcare aid program, and he did really well in our security course too. So
Yeah.
Those people skills,
yeah,
right?
people skills, and because you really
Well,
need them
I
as a
would think
healthcare
in
aid.
myself, healthcare aid, security program, boy, shouldn't it always go together? I don't know.
People
but
skills, people.
Yeah, it's the learning how to deal with the people in society, understanding them, not panicking, freaking out, things like that when something erupts that you didn't expect to happen. That's
Right.
really, we're not all trained to know what to do or how to stay calm or to curb our own anxieties that are going to come about during this situation, right?
Yeah.
And like our other programs, the healthcare aid program, we offer additional tickets, right? So it's not
Okay.
just your healthcare aid certification. You get first aid, fire suppression, WMIS, dementia training,
Oh,
as well
nice.
as medication assistance. So you get other tickets. And we have on-site labs, so you're not just in the classroom. We have beds and lifts, and you're learning how to put the catheter in before you go out to facility, because the great thing about that program is you get 2 opportunities to go out and work in facilities and work with seniors. So right now,
Okay.
our current class is out in the community. They'll be there for about 2 weeks, then they'll come back for a couple weeks of training, and then they're out again for approximately another month. So you're getting hands-on learning, right? Which is, I think, quite essential. It's not
Yeah,
all
it is
theory.
essential, completely.
And most of our graduates are hired right out of their practicum.
Okay.
And again, because we have employment services, you get assistance with your resume and interview skills, as well as applying online, because many of the facilities require
Yes.
online applications.
So, I've heard you say that now a couple times, help with applying online. Is that just because, is there certain things we should be doing when we're trying to get work online, or?
Well, definitely, how you craft your email is
Okay.
really important, but also, depending on the size of the company, sometimes there's assessments, and they could be like 50 questions.
Yes.
And people get sometimes frustrated with that process because you just want a job, right? But there's all these steps and stages that you need to go through, so just
Giving somebody the understanding of why that's there
Right.
is kind of what will help them to understand, no, but we got to do this, and this is how it works. And
Right.
You look at a lot of the places that you go to apply for jobs, and my area, my program is no different. We're all used to the days when you wrote up a resume, one letter that went to 10 different employers,
Yes.
one resume that also went to 10 different employers, and now they want an individualized application. If you're applying to me, I want your letter to say that it's to my company. And Mike, the competencies that are listed on my posting, I want your resume to be able to reflect those and how you can fulfill those competencies
Yeah.
for my company. And then lots of places, and that's a comment that I hear a lot from my students, is, well, why can't we just go and drop off a paper resume? And
Right.
and lots of places, so they'll use a lot of the websites and whatnot that have a portal in them that allows you to upload a Word document or a PDF document,
Yes.
those kinds of things. And that's what they want. And you can be standing there looking at somebody and say, can I give you my resume now?
And they'll say no.
Upload it to the site, because it goes through a process, and there's a funneling process, and now whether that's good, bad, or indifferent for how the resumes get funneled to the person that finally needs to see them, because we all know that a resume generally gets a quick blush when you give it to a company, but at least we know that they've got it to them, they have it, they acknowledge it in some ways, and it's up there for them to see, and they want something that's electronic and individual.
Yeah.
Even the ones that you see where it's funny, one of the things that I talk about in my job searching skills talks about video resumes.
Yes, that is a big new
you're,
thing.
You're starting to see those things. So car dealers, they want to look at what's that person going to look like when they're on the sales floor and they're
Yep.
demonstrating a Lincoln or a sports car, this, that, or the other thing. They want to know what you're going to look like when you come into the office.
Especially if you're going into sales or
Sure.
anything customer
Absolutely.
service, and that's what your resume needs to state is, I can sell your company,
Right.
myself.
So you can talk totally skills, and they can look at the video that's there and go, yeah, no, delete. Oh, this one I really like. So they'll
Yeah,
that kind of
you're
thing.
right.
And they don't have to ask any of those questions that are off limits to ask, because you've submitted those, what your video is. And like I said, lots of places I've seen them, they pop up, and so I use it as an example about it illustrates the change in the job application, the job market, how that all works, and how people get jobs. And some people have to apply to tons of jobs, and some people seem to never have to apply for a job. And
Right?
and-
How is that? What's
how does
going
that
on?
work? So networking.
Yeah, it
That's
is
what it's about,
networking. Yes, it
networking.
is.
I always tell my students that, always networking.
It's kind of a saying you hear. It really is about who you know.
Yep.
Yes, it's about what you know, but it really is about who you know, who you've talked to, what connection you've grown there, right?
Well, as an employer, right, you feel much more confident if you already know the person.
Right.
You don't have that unknown piece is already taken away. So that's a
Yeah.
big piece of it.
Or even if
right?
you just feel you know them,
Right.
it's enough, you know?
Well, if you're, so you can even be third party, so, so I'm looking for somebody to come and do a particular job. I'm having coffee with Elizabeth, and I say to her, oh, I'm having difficulty finding a person to do A, B, and C. And she says, well, I happen to know somebody who can do A, B, and C. Let me put you two together, and oh, really, that'd be great. So it saves me the time of having to go job hunting, or having to go employee hunting. It saves the other person time because they're probably job hunting in the market already. And because that person knows Elizabeth, and I have great respect
Yes.
for Elizabeth and her judgment, then there's the first piece. So networking works, and now the rest of it is up to her friend who comes to see me, and we work on getting a job. And that's a big deal. And that's more like what the it's a who you know thing. That's more what it's about.
But networking all together in a community is important. It's important for what we're talking about here with training, with work, that type of thing. But it's also just important to building a stronger community.
Right.
Yes.
Networking together, building strong connections, and all working together, trying to be more as one. I know
Right.
that's not going to be a complete, my goals are big, but it's real though. Lethbridge can be what we want it to be if we decide to put in the work. If we want to hustle for Lethbridge, then we can, and we can have a great place, or we can sit back and cry and whine and not get anything. So
Well, that's one of the reasons I joined the Watch, and that's what I do in my
Yeah.
my off time. So
we'll
yeah.
make sure we have a show about the Watch so that we can all understand that they actually are out there to help us. Another great initiative that shows just whatever community connections. So, who can access your services
well,
though?
I have one more program to
Oh, well, we better. Did we miss one?
Yeah, we missed the office program.
Oh,
So
and
we're
actually
gonna
that's
let you-
important.
Right.
Yeah, that's
so it's also another program that I manage, and it's a 13-week program.
Okay.
We have, and everything's starting up here in September. So our healthcare aid, our office program, ACOG will be running again September, security late September. So all our aesthetics. So September's a big month for us.
Okay.
But the office program is 13 weeks in length, and you are in our computer lab for a little portion of that time, learning things like Word and Excel, and you don't have to worry if your computer skills aren't great. That's the whole point of our program.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what your computer skill level is. Some people are going to be more proficient than others, but it's an instructor-led portion. Then throughout the week, you'll also be in a classroom setting, and you'll be learning client service skills, time management, how to run an office, and the administrative skills. In addition to that, you'll do 60 hours of practicum experience in the community. And what I do at the very beginning is I try to find out what your interests are, and then try to match you with the employer of your interests. So for example,
That's smart. Yeah.
last round we had someone interested in legal, so she did her practicum at Legal Guidance and is working there now. So
Oh, perfect.
oftentimes the practicum placements lead to employment. So, and throughout, again, that program, I work with you with resume, interview skills, the networking portion, and after the practicum, you come back to the classroom for a week where we now update your resume, because now there's lots of new things to add after your
Right,
practicum,
yeah.
right? And we look at things like some more innovative things like how to stop spam, knowing what not to open on your computer, and all of those kind of things. So you're ready.
Just those little extras,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yes, that's right. And try to hopefully give you that competitive edge. And then you go out and you're looking for work, and again, the support is there. You're not dropped at the end of a program.
Yeah.
It's ongoing support to help you.
That's what's really can make the difference in somebody's life, or just the fact that you're taking the moment to think about, maybe I'm going to try to place them where they would like to be, could actually cause them to flourish because they went somewhere that was exciting and fun, and not just this like, oh my gosh, that was horrid.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Good job on that.
Thanks.
Not everybody's going to take that moment for somebody else, though, is reality. It doesn't matter if you're just doing this. That's a big thing to do, though, to take that extra moment for people. So, and what that's the office assistant, but we didn't really talk about what is this, medication assistant?
Well, the medication course, You already need to be like in healthcare, so
Okay.
this would be an additional course,
get it.
so, yeah.
It's like you took healthcare aid and now you want to learn a little more about how to disperse medication properly.
Right. In our healthcare aid program, that is included, but there's other professions out there that's
Oh.
working in healthcare that maybe would like that training, so.
That little extra
that'll-
ticket.
That's right.
Oh, okay. So that's what the safety and training is too. Also, is just tickets that you can add into your already life that you're doing and stuff. that you
Into your
need.
toolbox.
Your toolbox. That's the right word. Exactly. So we know there's all these courses, all these programs, and that you help people with work and everything. But who can access these services?
Most everyone. Now, some of the government-funded programs, there's always a few more restrictions with
Mhm.
those, right? So if it's a resume services or employment services and you're not going into programming, if you're working with another organization, we don't duplicate services. So, for example, if you're working with Job Links and you're their client, then you wouldn't be a client of Training Inc.
Because you're already
Really
getting
can-
that help at Job Links.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it really, that's sort of like the biggest limit. You can be employed and still access our services, which a lot of people aren't aware of, and it's a big bonus, right?
Yeah, that is a big bonus.
The resumes are unbelievable.
Yeah.
They are really, really good.
Hmm.
And you have people that think they don't have, so back to my program, so we get them with, back in our program, and I look at their resumes, and I've had some of them say to me, yeah, I didn't think I had qualifications like this. I mean, we do get people that have stellar qualifications and
Yes.
they know it, but there are other people that think that this is a career change for me. I don't have skills that are transferable. I don't have experience that would help me succeed in the new line of work that I'm in. But so they visit, get their resumes done, and they come back in and we'll look at them and say, it's a pretty good resume, and they say, you know what, I didn't know.
They didn't realize what they were capable
because
of.
it's about competencies and it's about
Yeah.
skills that they have, and that's bigger than one job here or one job there.
And the biggest thing I'll hear, especially from moms, I'm just a mom.
Yeah.
And we're
Oh,
like,
I know,
let's
right?
get that just right out
That's
there,
like, do you know
right?
what you do daily, girl?
Managing multiple competing priorities. That is
Yeah.
a significant competency that's required in a lot of jobs, in my field especially, because those are the things that you get when you're that person at the front counter. You have 5 people that want something at once.
Yes.
So hello, that sounds like kids and being a mom and all the rest of that stuff. So multiple competing
yeah.
priorities, right?
Right.
And so it's a skill and a competency that they develop in probably the most honorable way there is, being a mom, and that's
Yeah.
what they do.
That's right. And
That's
then-
just one thing.
Yeah. So just being able to realize that about yourself will help flourish your resume,
sure.
right?
Right.
So
And
really,
then-
anybody can approach those services if you're not already getting them from somewhere else.
That's right.
At what ages, though?
If you're in school, like whether it be high school, university, college, if employment services is available at your school, then again, you need to go there because again, we would be duplicating. But if
Okay.
you're finished high school for the summer and you want a summer job, then we can help you. So,
Okay.
right. So again, it's really think about, is there somewhere that I'm already receiving services, can access it from the facility that, you know, I'm attending, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I just find that I've met a couple kids who don't feel as comfortable, it seems, to go to those services at school. That's why I wonder if there's outside service, so that
it is
summer.
end of the school term,
Yeah.
come see us.
Yeah, I might have a couple to talk about, just, to bring, just because not all these kids are comfortable to be jumping into the initiatives at school because maybe they're concerned about what other people think about it. I'm not really sure, but
Right.
it is nice to have them outside of there too, so.
Well, even another thing though, one of the conversations I've had with people in my program is like, well, I don't know what to put. I've got so much stuff, so they might have a history because we get some older people that come into our program. Well, I've had 30 different jobs in my lifetime. Okay, well let's so they go and they work on that resume and they come back and we pick out what's important, what's marketable, what's dealing with the task at hand. So like when I said job specific resumes and those kinds of things. So here's what the competencies are. Lots of employers are asking for specific things. Must be outgoing, must be this, must be that, must be the other
Yeah.
thing. And then they list a number of skills. Well, Elizabeth's people that look after the resumes, they develop these out of, and they'll say to them, well, they got this down to 2 pages, and I had no idea that you could get all that information into just 2 pages, which is what employers look for when they're going through resumes, because nobody wants to read War and Peace before they hire somebody. It doesn't matter how great they are. Right?
Oh, I might need to come in for some help with my resume, now that you said that. Shoot.
And,
We all know I talk so much, so we know my resume is big, right?
And, I just encourage people, if you're unsure about your resume, book an appointment with us, let us look at it, because
Yeah.
then we can assess it and we can help and guide. Your resume may be fine, maybe something else that needs to be tweaked, or maybe it needs a whole revamp. Just let
Mhm.
us help you and sort that out.
Yeah, and just, utilize the services that are there for you in your community. There's just so many, and I didn't really realize I started this knowing that we didn't all realize what was out there for us. But now that I've been doing it, it's like, boy, I really didn't realize what was all out there for
Well,
me.
now you know
Yeah.
that 444 Fifth Avenue South is not just the old police station.
That's right.
That's right.
Where I started my policing career, and now I'm back in the same building again,
must
which
be
is
so-
it is cool because
Yeah.
because I tell stories all the time about, well, this was here and that was there and this is what we did
Mm-hmm.
here and these went on, and so they find those very interesting. Actually, the staff really finds that it's interesting when I come and I talk about a particular area of the building that was there.
Right.
But
So do you know all the ghosts?
I know lots of things that went on in there back in the day, but
Come
there's lots
on.
of things that building's been around since 1946,
Right.
so it certainly predates me by 40 years. But
Mm-hmm.
I spent 10 years in there before they closed it, and we moved out to our new location. So,
Yeah.
but it's there's lots of things there, and it's not just the old police station. There's some really really great
Yeah.
things that are happening in that old building now. So.
It's also great that so I think you said, what is it, 26 years you were in the police
I was in the police
station?
service for 29 years, and I was
29
there
years.
for 11 years at that location, and 18 at the
So
newest one.
29 years helping people doing that, and now he's out there helping people getting trained so they can better their lives again. I just think that's great. So.
That's- you do what you know.
Yeah, you do what you know, but it's still,
Yeah.
it needs to be talked about. So people can access your services by getting online. And can you sign up for services online, or must you come in to
Or you
meet?
can call. You can
Okay.
call. You can either call or come in. And we don't have online applications at this point.
Well,
but
no, because
there's-
we would like you to come see a career counselor and
right.
discuss what's best for you, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And again, our demographic really is more, I'd rather see someone talk to
One-on-one.
someone. So we've kind of avoided that on our website, but our information is there at traininginc.ca, and
Mhm.
check out all our services and programs, but definitely give us a call and we'll be
Yeah.
able to guide you. And if you're just uncertain, we can start with an employment counselor who then oftentimes, after discussing with you what your interests are, will help you either in a program that we offer or somewhere else in community. So it's really about each individual and your individual needs.
Okay, so you will outsource. I was going to ask, do you work alongside with other organizations?
Definitely.
And who are they?
Well, all our
Or so.
government partners for sure, community agencies. So, if you're struggling with mental health or addictions,
Yep.
we make referrals. We also work with money mentors. We have money mentors come into each of our license programs where you have student loans, so you understand the budgeting process.
Okay.
And if you're struggling then with paying your student loan, there's repayment assistance programs. So, we help with all phases.
So
and
understanding the whole of what you're doing,
yeah.
not
Right.
just, here, go do this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
holistic approach.
Right, that's great. Do you help people with if they're thinking about their approaches to do their own business?
We would refer to ExecuServe
Okay.
because, of course, that's their specialty.
That is really their specialty, right?
That's
That's what I'm
right.
kind of noticing
Yes.
too. Okay.
But again, through career planning, we may help you discover that I really want to start my own business, right? And then we help you make that link.
For sure, with
Right.
some of these things, you could start your own business or
Oh,
get
yeah.
to that
Right.
that realization that you
Right.
want to start your own business.
That's right.
Just the security professional training, just all those different safety trainings and stuff you said on there. I just can't keep thinking about how many different jobs you can land with just taking that course, and it starts in September.
So you look at those pieces, you know, in dealing with getting along with people, because
Yes.
people can be difficult people, not just because they're mean or having a bad day. There are a number of
Yes.
factors that might make somebody who's difficult to deal with. Working in diversity, our country is a very diverse country, and in the security business, in the security world, they are people that work in security, work in diverse environments, and so they work from people all over the world who absolutely fascinate me and amaze me every day. And some of them might get tired of me asking. I have to know, if you came from somewhere around the
Yeah,
world
I
in
need to
Africa,
know so much
how
stuff.
did you get? Well, first of
Right.
all, how did you get to Lethbridge? How did you
Exactly.
find this 100,000 person pinprick on a map coming from all the way overseas? And so I learned so much from
Yes.
these students and about, you know, embracing everybody's difference and especially in the workplace. And it's important. I've always thought that it's important that the service type industries like security, of course, law enforcement, all the rest of those things, they need to be reflective of their community when it comes to the diversity piece.
Yes.
And the reality is that there's people from all corners of the globe that are in managerial positions, supervisory positions, that are clients, those kinds of things, women. It's
Yeah.
important that women are well represented. In my time in policing, in my time working in security and in training security guards, I've come up with I've met some very, very competent and capable women, and they make great security guards, good leaders, good managers, those
Yeah.
kinds of things. So they're all pieces of that one puzzle and that one program that has that kind of an impact, and those are portable things that you can take to
Yes.
any job. If you really want to do a super duper job at McDonald's, you could
Yeah.
you could port those things over there, and they'd
For
say, "Where
sure,
did
the
I find this person?"
nonviolent training
All of
and
it,
stuff,
the
I mean,
whole thing.
Do
Who
you
hasn't
get that
complained about a
with your
cheeseburger?
healthcare aid?
Not with that.
Because they will, after you get a healthcare aid job, they're going to send you for nonviolent training, just so you know.
Right.
Because my mom does this job. So,
Yeah.
you know, or the mental health training.
Right.
Those are all the things you're going to have to take. So
That's right.
that's funny. But
Yeah. So those are out there, and they're all parts of not only my program but all the other programs
it's
that Elizabeth was
amazing,
talking
you guys,
about.
that you
So-
have all this stuff going on there.
And we have something else really exciting
Yeah,
that's
tell
just
me.
getting ready to launch. We will be offering you the opportunity to earn a free tuition for the healthcare aid program. Now, I'm not at liberty to give details at this point, but keep watching our website. Within the next week or so, the details will be coming out. But you can have for the lucky person that earns their tuition, it could be for the September intake, or you could hold off till January. You may not be ready for September,
Right.
but it'll be offered for January. So the details will be on our website, and we'll be doing a blast about
So
that.
get online, go like Training Inc., share it with all your friends all over. You never know who needs that kind of opportunity in their life right now, especially when it is a struggle out there. There's lots of us looking for work. It's not just like landing on your lap right now. So you do have to fight for it. So just all those extra tools in your belt are going to help, obviously. That's exciting. How can the community help you? What can
Well,
we do?
You can refer people to us. You can hire our students.
Yes, so there we go. The businesses can get involved too.
Offer practicums when I need them for the office program, and as well as come visit, check out our facilities. You know, we'll give you a tour and just come visit us. And in August, when we have Whoop Up Days right after the parade, we always do a hot dog event for the
Okay.
downtown community. It's by donation. Proceeds go to the Interfaith Food Bank. So
Nice.
again, good opportunity to come meet us and chat and support another organization.
And when
in the
is that
community.
again?
It'll be August the 20th, right after the parade. So this is, I believe, our third or fourth year
Okay.
of offering this, and it continues to expand, which is really exciting. And I'll be in the hot dog
I was
costume.
just gonna say,
Perfect.
and some really, really great hot dogs.
Well, I mean, she's in a hot dog costume, so there's obviously a reason to be there. You get hot dogs, everybody's hungry after the parade, and anything that is to do with helping your food banks is a must.
Yeah.
That's where you must eat. That's what you have to give back to. We can't have people hungry in Lethbridge. It doesn't make sense. When you say businesses, let's talk about that quickly before our time is up, just so businesses do know what that means. How can they approach you to be able to hire your people?
Just call, and we will, if you're looking for someone, we'll connect you with our employment services, and then they do a blast to not only internally at our location, we do a blast to our other our rural locations, and we can't guarantee that we're going to match you with someone. We're not like a temp agency or anything like that, but we notify all our clients, and if we can find some candidates, we definitely will send them your way.
That's right. So just another way to make a connection in your community together so that everybody's building and getting
And
things.
we do corporate training as well, so we have a computer lab,
Okay.
and so sometimes you'll have either a group or an individual that maybe you would like some computer training, so that's available. Also, as an individual, maybe again, it's like our safety training, you want to beef up your skill set, you can come in and just pay for a single course. It doesn't have to be associated to a
Oh.
program, so there's that opportunity as well.
Okay, so just a lot of diversity in
Right.
all different ways there.
That's right.
Yeah.
there's-
So maybe, just going online is going to be an option, and you can see, kind of get a viewpoint of what's going on over there. But it's obvious that it would be better to go in because you don't know what isn't online, what they're not saying online, what maybe they can help you with, what they can team you up with. And I think that goes for a lot of the things that we want to do in the community. Sometimes just checking online isn't our best route, but we are kind of all going to that. But yeah, it is sometimes better to get in there because this face-to-face, one-on-one, then we're gaining a little
That's
more.
right. We want to take that fear away, right? Don't be afraid to step through the doors. You're
Right.
going to be welcomed by our very warm reception, and then from there, each individual person that you meet, we're going to take that time to find out what your needs are and best direct you.
Right?
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities that are out there to, and like you said, it's when I was hiring, I wanted to see people come in and of course they do there's little things where people will come in and drop off a resume, and when they meet that person, they'll ask, how was the person, how did they behave when you dropped off the resume, those kinds of things. So it gives them
Good
a
point.
real head start when they said, yeah, this person was in here, they're really nice, they smiled, they were dressed really well, they looked like they were somebody.
Competent.
That's right, and there's somebody that I would want representing my company, and regardless of the program at Training Inc., there's tons of competent people that come out of there. So it's encouraging to have employers that will come back to Training Inc. time and time again to do hiring, whatever the program.
Yeah, it's true. I've personally called Training Inc. myself just to ask questions. I don't know who works at the front desk. Well, shout out to that girl because she is amazing. She truly is.
Yes.
Sometimes you just get people on the phone and you're wondering, I don't even know how you have a job because you are the face of that place and you're mean. This girl's not that. This girl will
No.
do anything to help you. She'll find you any number, any email. She will tell you over the phone, oh no, you can do this, we can help you for sure. So always call there for sure. I like that about her.
That's
What's her
awesome.
name?
That's Bonnie, or it could be Lisa. So we
Okay.
have two people at the front. So
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know, just I really felt that when I called that there was a lot of
That's great.
happening and it was great. It made
That's-
me wanna,
Even
That's
when you
great.
work there, so as a contract employee, I mean, that's my first point of contact in the morning. So when I come jogging up the stairs with my stuff ready for school and give the big good morning, and they're there to greet everybody that comes in. So whether you work there, whether you're a client there, that's what they do.
perfect. So, okay, once again, you're located where?
at 444 Fifth Avenue South,
Okay, your phone number
403-320-5100
and your website.
is traininginc.ca.
Okay, guys, so that's where you can go to find out more information here, to get yourself on track for maybe some new goals or goals that's been sitting in the, beside thinking I can't do this or don't know how to start. Maybe these people can get you going on that route and get some stuff happening in your life, and they can help advocate for you. So that's always perfect. Couple things I want to talk about here before we close tonight, other than this, is first I'll thank you guys for coming. I
Thank
really
you for having
appreciate
us.
it, and for letting people know that, you know, there is this out there for them. It's really important. But Jess FM is hosting beer gardens this Friday at the Guelph Gardens, and there is also Concert for a Cause. All proceeds go to the Big Brothers and Big Sisters Club. So personally, there's no better place to drink on Friday. It's Street Wheelers. It's the Friday night cruise. We know that most of us are thinking about where we're going to be able to get that cold beer from. So this would be the place. Jess FM gives back to the community in many ways. So many ways that's too hard to even try to talk about it. So just being able to give back to him by showing up, meeting him, getting to know the people who hosts and producers who are part of this, and Concert for a Cause, helping out Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the children. So come out and drink, 5 to 10:30, the Guelph Gardens. We hope to see you guys all there. Thank you for joining me again. Remember that I started a support group last week. I just wanted to shout out again to let you guys know that it's online, on Facebook, Trichotillomania Tribe. If you're in need of any help with that type of situation, please join us. So together we can make a difference with that and raise awareness. So thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next Wednesday.